Hello and welcome back to NK Fertility Solutions. Today I will be sharing my story. How I got to find out that yes, my egg has been fertilized, that I'm pregnant. And those signs, actually, at the end of the day, it turned out that yes, I am pregnant. This happened to me when I was trying for my second baby at the age of 26. First of all, before I go into full of this video, I really want you to be encouraged. If you're that woman that you have been trying to get pregnant, don't lose hope. Chances are that you are one cycle away from your testimony, all right? So stop crying your eyes out. I was on a TTC journey for 6 months. Don't say, 6 months is too small. It might sound too small, but my dear, that 6 months felt like 6 years to me. I felt the pang, all right? I felt it, even though I've had my first baby, a second pregnancy was now as if it's a problem. I still felt the sting of trying to conceive. So I really understand what you're going through. Hang in there. This is not about Google said. These are the things that happened to me. I experienced them when I was trying to get pregnant. And at the end of the day, girl, that positive line appeared. The first sign that I experienced is these changes in my cervical mucus. And not just the cervical mucus that was changing. I noticed that this tightness around my cervix, like the tightness was so obvious to me. I got to find out, I got to really study my body. I know the type of changes I should experience at every phase of my cycle. So when that cervical mucus change happened, I'm like, something is happening. And I noticed the tightness because normally when you get pregnant, there is this cervical, the cervix tightens and closes up, okay? If you're a woman that is really like, you listen to your body, you will notice it, okay? So this is part of the reason why sometimes you're trying to get pregnant or you got pregnant and before you know it, you miscarry because that cervix did not close. It did not tighten up. So I noticed it. I noticed the closeness. I noticed the changes in my cervical mucus. It was more like a thick discharge. When you rub it on you, like, I don't know, the discharge is thick. It's not cheesy like. It just thick like one rubber band like that. Okay, yes, that's what I noticed. The second thing that I noticed that happened to me is that I noticed that my face was glowing. I wasn't the only one that noticed this. A colleague said, "Enke, you're glowing. What is happening? Okay, what is happening?" And that was when I was like, something is happening. That beautiful thing is happening already inside. And I started to notice this like 8 days after my ovulation. That's how sensitive our body can be. Okay, how tremendous changes can happen, honestly. So that was it. I began to notice that my face was glowing. There's no acne, there's no dullness. I was feeling really. There are some that it might be the opposite for them, or there are some that they will notice that their face is getting dull. They are not glowing. Okay, for me, it was a flip side of it. Okay, so the third thing that happened to me was this increased urge to pee. This increased urge to pee actually gave me a heart attack. It gave me a heart attack because I was like, I hope this has nothing to do with infection, okay? So eventually, the constant urge to pee was there. In my office, I will always want to pee. At home, I will always want to pee, okay? And I didn't want to go and check and get disappointed because I always check that time back in those months when I was trying to get pregnant. I'm always checking. In fact, I had to go and buy the pack, the PT strip pack, and kept it in my house so that I could test as how many times as possible as I want to test. All right. So the fourth sign that I actually experienced as back then that he really helped me confirm that yes, I am pregnant was I noticed that I was feeling more sleepy, like always feeling sleepy. I didn't feel like getting up in the morning. I didn't feel like doing anything. I noticed that I was sluggish, okay? Or would I say just tired, just really tired, especially in the morning hours, okay? And when I would get to the office, as soon as I'm done with my work, I just found myself sleeping again. And that was how people around me were like, are you sure you're not pregnant? Are you sure you're not pregnant? And like I said, in my mind, I'm like, until I test, until I miss my period, that's when I'm testing. If I don't miss my period, I don't want to test. But all these signs that were happening, they were pointing me towards it. And somehow internally, I was happy because they were like new changes that was happening to me. All right. All right. I know that with my first pregnancy, I actually experienced this tiredness a lot. In fact, that's how I got to know the tiredness was so much. My mom was like, go and test. It looks like you're pregnant. Okay. So the fifth thing that happened to me, the fifth sign that I actually experienced was this massive appetite. Oh my God. I was always eating. Especially at that time, I fell in love with agidi. I fell in love with abacha, African salad. Okay, there's this one in my office back then that used to just prepare it and go. I fell in love with pepper soup. Hey, I fell in love with fresh fish. Normally, without pregnancy, I don't eat fresh fish. Like, even up till now, I don't take fresh fish. But when that pregnancy happened, I saw myself craving for fresh fish. And I'm like, what is wrong? It has entered. So that strange craving happened to me. Okay, it happened to me, even when I've not really mixed my period. The final symptom that I actually experienced is this dull aching pain, like a tingling sensation. You know that normally when you get pregnant, they will be like, oh, there's implantation cramping happening. And I was so conscious to be sure that this implantation cramping has not entered period cramps. But I got to find out that at that time when it was happening, it was always very dull, very small, very, very unnoticeable. You will not notice it except like you are the person experiencing it. And it will not get to the extent that you're complaining. And it wasn't frequent. It wasn't happening throughout the day. Maybe in a day, you might just experience it like 3 times or 4 times, okay? And it will just last for minutes for me at that time, at that stage of the pregnancy, all right? So there you have it. These are the signs and symptoms. These are the signs that I experienced when I was trying to get pregnant that helped me confirm that, yes, I am pregnant. In all of this, a sure way to actually confirm that you're pregnant is by doing a pregnancy test, okay? Urine and blood test. Equally back it up with ultrasound if the pregnancy has progressed. Thank you for tuning in today. That's your pregnancy journey is possible. Don't just lose hope. Quarter to your miracle.